Welcome to X-Men The Last Stand movie review. In the beginning of the movie, it was 20 years ago Professor X and Magneto saw a girl, her name was Jean. They talked to her mom and dad. Professor X wants to talk Jean on their own. Her mom and dad left the room. Magneto looked outside, saw the cars flying with her power. The boy was in the bathroom. His dad knocked on the door. The boy was crying. He had wings on his back. Everyone was in the room testing their powers. Iceman girlfriend saw it. Then she run, get ready for the fight. They all finished their class. Storm asked what was that to the Wolverine. He said to her, talk to Jean boyfriend. He was sitting on bed thinking about his girlfriend Jean. Jean boyfriend left the school. Beast was read a book. When he wait lady came in the room saying there is a meeting. They told Beast they catch Mystique for ask her questions. Everyone watch her fighting in a room. The man give Beast a file. He was reading it at the school. Professor X was teaching the class. The boy put the TV on with his eyes. Then the kids was watching the TV. Then Professor X said class was over. Stop teaching. Storm use her powers. Storm was asking why we still hiding. Storm said to Professor X, something you're not telling us. Beast was talking to Storm and Professor X. Professor X said Storm, everyone was listened to a speech they were watching on TV. Storm asked who want this. Wolverine said, did he call me boy? Storm was not happy. Man was doing a speech. They was listen. Then Magneto walked in the room. He asked them to join him to stop them. He asked her, what can you do? He asked, can you find one for him? Mystique was in a police. Then she was crying. As a child, Magneto used his powers to save Mystique. Beast went to the lab to meet the boy. He said hello to him. His hand turned back to human. The boy said sorry to him. Beast said thank you to him. He drive the bike to the lake. He stopped. He heard Jean voice there. He said stop. Jean was out of the water. She is now a bad guy. Jean hugged her boyfriend, then heard him. Professor X knew something wrong. He sent the X-Men to the lake. Storm used her powers. They found his glasses and Jean. They took Jean to the school. Professor X was helping her. Wolverine said, is she going to be okay? He said what? Then he told him about the Phoenix. Wolverine said, did she knew all of this? He said to Professor X, what have you done? Then he left the room. The people are in a line. The dad are using his son to make him human again, so he cannot be a superhero. His wings pop out to save him. He fly away from them into the sky. The boy in the lab saw him flying away. Magneto find the police to get more people to join him. Mystique saved Magneto. She lost her powers. Magneto said sorry to her and left. The Beast went to the White House, talked to the president. Wolverine saw Jean in the room. She used her powers, throw him in the room. Jean walked out of the room and leave. Magneto was talking about it. Then she pick up something at class 5. He said, where is she? Professor X came in the room. Everyone left the school, went to Jean's childhood home. Professor X wants to see Jean alone. Then Magneto was there too. He said, let's get inside. The battle was on the street. In the house, they both went into the room. Professor X want to help her. She doesn't want her help. He was talk about her boyfriend. Storm went inside the house, and Wolverine, they fight with two bad guys in there. Jean hurt the Professor X in the house. Magneto said no to Jean. She didn't listen. Professor X said to Jean, don't let control you. Magneto took Jean with him. They upset, they lost Professor X. They went back to the school to do a funeral. Everyone was listening to Storm's speech. The kids was crying. She said about their world. The girl was in the room crying. Iceman went in the room. She said Storm said to everyone to stay in the room. He made a garden into ice. Wolverine said, where you going? The girl is leaving to get her power removed so she can touch again. She said to him, you not going to talk to her? Going upstairs or unpack? Everyone was in the forest. Jean was looking at everyone. Magneto was talking to Jean. He told her to stop. He said, you once a X-Man. Once Magneto walk away from him. Wolverine was in the woods. The bad guy was there. Wolverine was running. He hide. They were ready for a fight. He hear cheering in the woods. Then Wolverine was in there. Listened to Magneto. Jean saw him. Wolverine followed Jean. She saw him. They talking in the woods. He went flying the woods. Everyone was in a meeting. Mystique give the president where Magneto is. Then they found out they are in the lab. They after a boy. Wolverine called Storm name. She said, what are you doing here? Then Wolverine said there is loads of them. They all stand together to save the world and stop Magneto for datering the world. They took the jet. Magneto used a bridge so he can go to the labs. Everyone was running off the bridge. He used his powers. Everyone saw the bridge flying. He dropped the bridge and walked across it. The child in the car was scared. Magneto said, well, then everyone running. He was talking about humans. She used her powers. Everyone was watching in the jet. I give the X-Men 7 out of 10.